Today I'm going to talk about building a Makiwara. This is the 10th Makiwara I built. I think it's very important for karate to have a Makiwara to strengthen your kicks and punches. This is the first of a two-part series. This is a refurbished Makiwara. I had it in a different dojo. And come closer please. You can see that this is really very strongly connected. So I have two big steel bolts that go all the way to the other side. Goes through this 6x6 beam all the way to the back side. They have two long threaded rods that connect it together. And this block is trapezoidal. So this is not, the edges are not parallel. There's a slight angle. I'm going to show you here. The angle is about here. You can see about 4 degrees. So it's 4 degrees from vertical, leaning towards me. And the reason for that is that when I punch and it leans, you don't want it to lean away. So slightly, if it's slightly leaning towards you, it's actually good for a punch. It's also good for a kick. It's easier to kick at something that's slightly tilted towards you. I'm going to put a pad on it, and in the second part I will talk about the padding. To talk about the dimension, come closer please. So you can have different dimensions of Makiwara. I like it to be slightly wider here, so that I can do kicking, like a back kick and side kick. If it's narrow, it's very hard to do that. You can miss it with a back kick. So I like to have it relatively flat. And then it has to narrow at the bottom. This is relatively thin on top. Let's look at the thickness on top. This is in millimeters. The top is about 20 millimeters. About 20 millimeters. In the middle is about 33 millimeters, and then at the bottom is about 41 millimeters. And then the rough dimensions. The height is about 53 inches. 53. The width is 7. The punching surface vertical is about 13 inches. Midriff is about 4.5 inches, and widens at the bottom to about 7 inches. And then the depth here from here to the wall is about 10 inches. Gives me enough clearance so if I hit it, it's not going to hit the wall. And I had to cut. It was very strong, so I had to cut from the sides. So depending on the Makiwara you can use a jigsaw to actually shave off from the side. And then I also cut a slit in the middle here, because this was not bending. So if you look from above, look down. If I push it now, you can see that the bottom is also moving. And it was so rigid that this wasn't moving at all, and all the bending was happening from the middle. But now that I did this opening here, it actually bends as I want it to bend. So now even this portion is moving like that. I'm going to put rubber cement on it and put 2 layers of a pad, a yoga pad. I tried a variety of pads, and I found this one is the best. This is a yoga pad, fitness gear, multi-use mat, 68 inch by 24 inch, and the thickness is 0.5, so it's half an inch thick. If you look at the material, and look how it's squishy like that, so it's very similar to the human flesh, and I glued 2 of these surfaces here. So it's going to be one surface, then a second one, and I'm going to cut it with a knife. I'm going to trim it with a knife. Eventually, I'm going to glue a leather surface on top of it, and the leather is going to wrap around, and it's going to be tight with a thin bungee cord. The leather is very important because as you rotate in the fist, you want it to be on leather, because if you rotate it on rubber, eventually it's going to drill a hole or going to mess up your skin. So that's all for now, and in the second phase, in the second segment, I'm going to show you after I finish the padding, and then how to do various techniques on the Makiwara.